What's up guys, Jake Lowry here, and today is a very important day in my bass fishing career because I bought my first vessel. So I was cruising through Academy, and every Friday I go to Academy to pick up baits to make these videos, and every Friday I see the kayaks on Academy. And I always used to look at them and really want to buy them, but they're a little bit too much money for my budget now. But yesterday was the day. I showed up at Academy. They had been on sale for a couple weeks and they dropped the prices another $50. So I decided to buy a kayak that I'm going to use for fishing. This is going to be a game changer for me, guys, because I'm going to have access to so many more different spots. I'm going to be able to fish all different types of bodies of water. I could take this on creek expeditions. I could fish huge lakes like Sam Rayburn, and I could fish these smaller sized ponds that hold giant fish. So without further ado, I'm going to unveil the kayak that I purchased, and then I'm going to show you guys how I have it set up currently. Obviously it's early on and things are due to change. Once we show you guys the setup, we're going to fish Lake Tahoe and we're going to end up catching a giant fish because the kayak allows us to get out into the deeper water of this lake and throw some offshore baits that I know will catch some big fish. So here is the kayak. It is a Pelican Challenger 100X Angler Edition. This thing is 10 feet long and it has pretty much all the bells and whistles that you need for a beginner angler bass fishing kayak. Why don't we get started on the bass fishing kayak tour and we'll see how it's going to get set up. Starting in the rear of the kayak, this is where all the storage is. It has a removable basket here, so it makes it really easy to bring your tackle into the kayak, and you don't have to keep your tackle in the kayak while you're traveling, but all you have to do is take this removable basket and put it in the back of the kayak and you're ready to start fishing. It has 2 rod holders right here, so I'll have room for 3 rods. Plus, in this basket, I can add additional rod holders, so I can hold like 5 rods in this thing. Way more than I even own. The seat is not a raised seat. It's just a standard kayak seat, but it is a little more padded than a normal kayak seat. I'm thinking this will be comfortable enough early on, and I can always upgrade this seat if I need to. Moving towards the center console, it has 2 cup holders right here, so if I have coffee or beer or something like that, I'll be able to set it there. A spot to put my phone or, you know, any electronic or something like that. And then this little thing opens up and I could drop keys, wallet, important things, and this little thing, maybe scissors for cutting line and stuff like that, that's like readily available. It has adjustable footrests, so I can move these back and forth. I'm a tall guy, so I think I'm gonna have to keep these at the end of the rail. And then it has this little spot right here that I could hold additional tackle. What'll probably happen with this spot is I'll keep like soft plastics and stuff that I'm using readily available, so if I lose a soft plastic, I could just pull it out right there. And then the next thing I purchased is a paddle. This was like the cheapest paddle they had at Academy. I wasn't gonna spend like $200 on a freaking kayak paddle, so this thing was like 50 bucks. It is the Magellan Outdoor No Limits kayak paddle. This thing is 94 inches long. The kayak is 30 inches long and I'm 6 feet tall, so lightly undersized for my height, but I think the paddle will do just fine. So the total amount for this kayak was $300 plus the paddle, and then I bought some straps and stuff to put it on top of my car. I spent $400 yesterday at Academy, which in my opinion for a kayak is actually not bad at all. There's kayaks that go on the market for like $2,000–$3,000. If we like kayak fishing, then we may upgrade and buy one of those, but for now we're just gonna use this. I don't wanna commit to like a $3,000 item if I don't even like what I'm doing. One of the key things about this kayak that I'm still concerned about is whether or not I can stand up in it, and that's going to be one of the first tests I do in the water here, and that's kind of why I chose this lake here, because it's very calm, but if I fall in the water I'll just be able to walk to the bank. It's not like I have to swim out in a bunch of current and stuff like that. Without further ado, let's get rigged up. Let's get the rods rigged up. I'll show you guys what kind of baits I'm thinking about today, and then we'll start fishing. We'll test out the kayak, we'll see how it paddles, we'll see if I can stand up in it, we'll test the stability and see if this thing is really worth $400 or if it's trash. As far as rigs go today, I have 3 rods set up. On the spinning rod, I have a wacky rig set up. On one of my heavy action bait casters, I have a large hard glide bait set up. And then on the last bait caster, I have a soft glide bait set up that I used here and caught a ton of fish on. So we're probably gonna start with the soft glide bait and then maybe switch to the wacky rig and throw that big bait around just a little bit. Okay guys, before I start fishing, I'm gonna get the kayak in the water, I'm gonna take all the rods out and see if I can stand up in this thing, because I don't wanna break all 3 rods at one time if I try to stand up in this thing and I end up flipping over. So why don't we go ahead and do that, and then we'll go back to the bank, grab the rod, see if we can't catch some Texas bass on the new maiden kayak. Also, before we get started with the action of today's video, comment down below what you guys think I should name it. I think Big Texas is a great name for this kayak, so let me know if you guys think Big Texas is the right name for this thing, or if I should name it something a little more eloquent. All right, let's get in the kayak and see if we can't get the maiden voyage on this thing. Let me know what you guys think. Shoes or no shoes or what? Let's get out into the water a little bit. Water is nice and warm right here. Oh, the water is gin clear too, guys. That's gonna be amazing for the fishing. All right. Let's set. Okay. Okay, guys. And we're in. All right, so far, stability seems pretty good sitting down. Again, guys, I'm not confident in my ability to stand up in this thing, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't. It looks like this is a great spot to hold the paddle. I just discovered that. Okay. 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 It's a little tippy, but I think you can kind of like lean into one side and really get that thing. But yeah, guys, you could totally stand up in this thing and fish off of it. Absolutely no problem at all. So that is a huge test for the $100 or $400 kayak, guys. It's a little bit of a balance test. I don't think I'd do this after like 4 or 5 beers. Great sign for the kayak adventures ahead. Now, if there's waves and stuff, probably not doing it too again, but I think that means we got to get the rods out. This is going to be a huge change to the videos, guys, because I have so many more options. So why don't we get back on the bank, grab the rods, lock the car up, and see if we can't start fishing. Apologies, you're going to see the dogs today. There's not many 2 ways around it. Okay. I think we go by the dam first, because that's the spot I've always wanted to fish at this lake and never have been able to. And then we go up towards the creek channel and fish up there. But guys, ooh-wee doggy, this is so fun. We have a perfectly calm day on this lake too, like not a soul of wind, which is gonna be perfect for the kayaking. I have kayaked fish before on like a big lake in North Carolina, but nothing of my own like setup, right guys? So I'll be able to dial this kayak in just a little bit. You know, every time we go fishing, we make another tweak, and hopefully by, you know, a couple fishing adventures, we're able to have like the perfect kayak fishing setup. And you know, we can always upgrade a kayak, upgrade a paddle. I need to get a life vest. I'm not gonna have a life vest at this spot because the fishing or the lake is so small, I can swim to the bank from pretty much anywhere. Like I'm not gonna be more than like 20, 30 yards from the bank at any point. But if I go out on like Lake Rayburn or something, I'm gonna need something a little more safety wise. Let's get the first cast on the soft plastic glide bait. Let's see if we can't catch anything. Great start with the soft plastic glide bait, guys. Great action. A little uneasy about my paddle controls. I think I need to sneak up on the spot a little more quietly. But let's get another cast towards the bank here. fish are rising near me. Okay, I'm gonna use my rod tip a little more. If I remember correctly, that was the easier way to fish this thing. Okay, I think the glide bait might be a little too challenging to throw while I'm trying to learn how to fish off this kayak. So I'm gonna pick up the Senko for a couple casts and see if I can't do something with that. Perfect, guys. It actually wasn't challenging at all to reach the other rods, so that's a great sign so far. Let's reposition ourselves, maybe sit in the shade for a minute so I can cool off. Cast into this corner, see if I can't catch something on the Senko. Again, like just 1 or 2 little paddles and you're all the way off into where you're paddling towards. That Senko sink. Nice thing about the Senko is I can adjust my kayak when I'm cast it out, because I don't have to do anything. Okay, I think I'm good right here. All right, I'm gonna do it too, guys. I'm gonna stand up, see how that works out for me. Okay. Oh. Definitely not doing this in the middle of a lake, but here, I feel like I can get away with it. Now, if a gator came out and hit the kayak, we might have some problems. I also feel like I should tether this stuff down, but since I'm in a pond, I'm probably good for now. There's gotta be a bass sitting at the end of this thing too. You know what this is like, guys? You know those little boards that have those rolly things on them? Yep. Getting bit. No, not getting bit? Huh. Yeah, those boards with a little rolly cylinder underneath and you have to try and balance. That's what this is. Whoa, 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 whoa. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're good. I'm seated. Perfect. Oh, I have fish. What? I had a fish. Are you serious? All that messing around and I had a fish on. It felt big too. It didn't felt like a small fish. See if there's another one off the end of this thing. Come on, fish. Maybe something. Yep. 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 Oh my gosh, this thing's running straight at me. Oh, it was a big fish. It was a big fish, guys. That was a big fish. You know how I know that? He started peel and drag right at the end. There we go, guys. Got the Mondo worm rigged up. Ready for action. Let's go back out here. Maybe go a little further up this pond and see if we can't start catching them. There is a creek channel in this pond that's probably the deepest part. So maybe if we find that, we find where the fish are. But I'm gonna hang out in the shade for a little bit because it is hot out. As long as you keep your momentum in the same direction, it doesn't seem to be that big of a problem. But it's like when you start getting momentum off into all different types of directions is when like you start twisting and stuff. That's when it becomes an issue. There we go. Little micro adjustment. Make sure my drag's tight. I need to improve my hook setting off the yak. Yep, fish, guys. First fish on the Mondo worm. Nice bass, guys. Let's go. Huge, huge, guys. I knew it. I knew it was just the right rig. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Would do it today. Haha. Okay, there we go. Fish, first fish of the day, guys, on the kayak. First fish ever on the kayak. Caught on the Guggen Squad Mondo Worm Jr. He's not a giant, but he's not that tiny either. So why don't we get this guy released and get back out there. Whoa, he's biting my hand. He's biting my hand. There he goes. See if I can't reuse that. I don't have too many of these worms left. Oh, perfect. Easy, easy reuse of that plastic. Oh man, does that feel good too. Does that feel good? First fish out of the yak, guys. Someone's dog is barking like crazy. Okay, that was a fish, guys. 100%. Probably had the tail. Probably wasn't the biggest fish. That's a fish. That's a nicer fish too. Stay down. Came back. Oh, I lost him. Dang it. Lost him right at the freaking kayak. Dang it, guys. That sucks. Second fish of the day. What does a land on a kayak? You got to get your hands on it? Or is it counted like touch the kayak? If the fish hits the kayak, does that count? Because like, for whatever reason, I seem to not be able to be landing a lot of these fish. Huh. So crazy when you think about it. See, 3 lines in the water at once. Drop that Senko straight down that thing. Yep. No way. No way. It's a big fish too. It's a big bass too, guys. No way. Biggest fish of the day. Are you serious? On the Senko? Nice freaking, this is a big fish for this lake, guys. This is a nice fish for this lake. Oh, I'm stoked. Oh, come here. Come here, he's barely hooked. Oh. Oh, dear Lord, come here. Right off that log. Oh my gosh, guys. That's a nice bass for this freaking lake, guys. Nice 3-pounder. I knew if I dropped a Senko right off the edge of that thing, I'd end up catching him. Nice, guys. Second fish off the kayak. So far, so freaking good, guys. This is a nice, healthy fish for this lake. Anyways, let's get this guy back in there, released. Let's get after it. It's getting hot today, but we're still catching them, so we're still fishing. Let's go, guys. That was a nice fish for this kayak. I'm actually really stoked on that. Really stoked on that. All right, guys, that wraps up the video fishing off the kayak for the first time, aka Big Texas. We had a pretty successful day. I had 3 fish on. I ended up landing 2 and actually caught a pretty big fish for this lake. The kayak definitely has a little bit of a learning curve, and I'm gonna have to get used to paddling it and fishing at the same time. It's hard to move while you're fishing. This lake isn't a lake that's gonna allow the kayak to shine really, because it has really, really good bank access. So we'll go to a lake that's kind of in the middle of the woods and see if that is what the difference maker is for the kayak. But so far, I'm very happy with the purchase of the kayak, and I think it's gonna only expand my horizons fishing wise. Let me know if you guys like the kayak fishing content. We're gonna keep all of our options open fishing wise. So we're gonna fish from the bank, we're gonna fish from the kayak, we're gonna go camping, potentially do some kayak river fishing trips. It just gives us so many more options fishing wise that I thought it was a no-brainer investment. Standing up on the thing wasn't too great. I'm not really sure if I trust it. I can do it, but it's quite the balance test for sure. I'm pretty tall and that kayak's pretty short relative to other kayaks on the market. It's only 10 feet. Standing up on it is like a risk for sure. Maybe if the kayak's empty, I don't have my phone or any camera gear or anything like that, I might consider standing up on it, fishing off of it. But with all my fishing gear in it, the camera gear, the phone, it's just too big a risk that I don't really want to take. And it's not really worth it. The biggest difference maker will probably be fishing in the spawn. That's when you're going to really want to be standing up in it. But anyways, guys, if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you next time.